Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Guns N Roses Central. It's Tuesday morning, which means it's time to talk about the past week's Guns N Roses news. So with Guns N Roses playing Edmonton last Wednesday, there was a news story that may have fallen between the cracks. So for those of you guys who don't live in Canada or maybe live outside North America, Canada has its own football league, not soccer football like American Football League. So it's called the CFL, or Canadian Football League, and there was a news story about how Guns N' Roses security chased the Edmonton Eskimos from their indoor practice field. So the Eskimos play at Commonwealth Stadium, which is where Guns played their concert in Edmonton on August 30th. So according to the article from the Edmonton Journal, when Edmonton Eskimos arrived at Commonwealth Stadium earlier this week, they thought they were just heading into the office. What they got was welcome to the jungle, with the notorious hard rock group Guns N' Roses back together for their Not in This Lifetime tour, which stopped in Edmonton on Wednesday, August 30th. The Eskimos found themselves sharing space with Axl Rose and company. While the stage was set up outside in the 56,000-seat stadium, the team soon found out that other areas of the facility had also become off limits. I got the guys together when we came in and got a day of work in during an off day and threw the ball around a little bit because I didn't think the guys wanted to sit around for that long, said Eskimos quarterback. And then he said, until we got kicked out. Guns N' Roses kind of had us on lockdown, so we snuck in there for about 20 minutes before security got a hold of us, but we got a little bit of work in. That's not to say the Eskimos felt entirely inconvenienced by the concert. Eskimos head coach Jason Maz even welcomed some live background music while he had his nose to the grindstone in his office while preparing for Monday's Labor Day Classic. I was here working, Maz said. I opened my door to listen to it whenever I heard a song. Obviously, I was a huge Guns N' Roses fan growing up, so the songs I did hear I thoroughly enjoyed, and I thought they did a great job. So speaking of the Edmonton show, I did hang up my lithograph I got from the Edmonton show on my wall finally, so it was nice to finally get that dealt with, and you could see my amazing guitars as well. And those of you who missed the Edmonton recap of mine on my channel, it's up on my channel if you guys want to see my entire day and the day before the Edmonton show. So I did get a photo with Frank. I ran into him near where I work. And then I also managed to run into Mick Bob, who gave me one of Duff's picks as well. So that was really cool. No luck running into any of the other members, though, although I did see Beta at the actual concert. Now, the Edmonton show was also important to note because Guns N' Roses premiered two cover songs, but there were still two songs that the band hadn't played before on the Not in This Lifetime tour. They did a cover of Glenn Campbell's Wichita Lineman, and they also did a James Brown cover, I Feel Good. Now, Axl had sang the song back in 2006, but he's never performed it live with this version of the band, and I've linked to both videos down below if you want to check them out. Now, it's also important to note that those covers were also played at the Vancouver show on Friday, and one can probably assume that Guns N' Roses will keep playing those covers throughout the rest of this tour. There's got to be one lesson learned from this, though. We're hoping that no more famous people die, otherwise Guns N' Roses will keep adding covers to their set list. Now, we also got a new photo of Slash. So after Edmonton, Guns N' Roses played Vancouver on Friday night, and apparently Slash went and visited the set of the new Deadpool 2 movie, and this is a photo of him with Josh Brolin. Now, there were some rumors that maybe Slash will make a cameo in the movie, or maybe he'll make an appearance. It certainly wouldn't be Slash's first time acting. He's appeared in a number of different shows before and movies. You know, they were, of course, in the Deadpool movie, and then they were also in, he also made appearances on Charlie Sheen's show, Anger Management. He was in Tales from the Crypt. He was on the Drew Carey show. And I forgot to include this in last week's news update, but this is an awesome claymation that somebody did about Guns N' Roses. It's called the Yesterday's Guns N' Roses Claymation. So I've linked to it down below. If you guys are looking for a laugh, go check it out. I hope this guy does some more claymations about GNR. And then I want to give a shout out to Duff McKagan. He just hit over 1 million followers on his Twitter account. Now, Axl already has over 1 million followers, and Slash already has like 4 or 5 million followers on his Twitter account as well. And this you guys already know because you probably all follow him. DJ Ashba has 1.15 million followers on Twitter, and he recently posted that he's still got some meet and greet packages available. You can get a signed guitar from him, and at this point in time they only had 15 meet and greets available as one of his upcoming appearances. Now, if you guys remember, Axl did an interview with Chinese Exchange around the time he was touring with AC/DC last year, and the person who actually chaired the actual interview was David Tang. Now, it came out this week that he actually passed away. So Sir David Tang, a socialite friend of the rich and famous, he passed away at age 63. So we also had an interview with Bumblefoot this past week. He was, of course, talking about some of his new projects he's working on, and the topic of Guns N' Roses came up. So the headline on Blabbermouth reads, Bumblefoot agonized over decision to leave Guns N' Roses. I was a head case. So he did an interview with WRIF, and even though he never officially announced his departure from GNR, it was originally revealed that in 2005 the guitarist had been out of the band since the band's second Las Vegas residency in 2014. So Tall later revealed that he was focusing on his solo career and other projects after spending 8 years in Guns N' Roses. He was also asked by Meltdown of the Detroit radio station if he had seen the reunited partial classic lineup of Guns N' Roses in concert, and he said, "No, it just feels kind of weird. I quit the band and they moved on, and I moved on. It's not like I quit pretty, and also, what am I going to do? I'm just going to stand in the audience and everyone's going to be like, hey, I used to be there. It's too weird, man." So here's the actual snippet from the interview for you guys to check out.
Huge fan of that record. It is one of my favorites since the turn of the century. I just love that record. I think it might be even one of the most underrated albums of all time. I've listened to that record so many times. I think it's just fantastic.
Oh, very cool. Thank you. But definitely, yeah, it was weighed down with so much baggage. Everyone had so many things to say about it before it even came out. Just, oh, it was this expensive and it took this long and these people are in it or aren't in it. But honestly, that's what makes the album special, is that no other album in the history of rock has had such a journey to finally reaching people's ears with so many changes in technology and personnel and everything that was added to it. And it is so full. Every time you listen to it, you can hear another little subtlety in there. And definitely got to give a lot of credit to Karen Costanza, the producer, the engineer, the man behind all of that. The guy spent 14 hours a day with laying tracks and guiding things in the right direction. And then in the end, him and Axl would work out what would remain and what would be muted in the final takes of everything.
Yeah, just off the top of my head, I mean, There Was a Time is probably, I mean, my favorite song off that record. What a great song that is.
Yeah, that's a standout better. You know, there's a lot of really deep stuff on that record. You know, and I think a lot of people were expecting to hear Appetite for Destruction Part 2. And I always describe it as, you know, all this incubating, all this stuff happened in this cocoon, and then suddenly this whole other thing came out of it that didn't resemble where it began. But if you just look at it for what it is and listen to it for what it is, it's something very unique, and it's good. There's a lot of stuff going on in there that's really special.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I saw you guys perform that on that tour a few times, but I remember the one time, which was really good, in Vegas. You guys did the residency out there. That was a lot of fun, huh?
Yeah, we did the 2 residencies, one in the fall of 2012, one in spring of 2014, and those were just a blast. Such a good time.
Yeah, I saw the fall one, 2012. Yeah.
Nice. Did you see this when we were doing the theater show in Detroit in 2012?
You know what? I didn't see that particular show for whatever reason. I'm not exactly sure why. I did not see that one. I had something going on that day, but when we took a plane full of listeners out to Vegas just to see you guys play in the Vegas residency, and we went there and saw that. And boy, did you ever play with somebody like Axl that just wants to play for so long? I mean, you guys went on stage at like 11:30. I think you got done at like 3.
You know, I'm kind of like that. Like, usually you have to pull me off the stage with a big giant hook. You know, it's like I won't stop or just pry the guitar out of my cold, dead hand. I mean, seriously, like, I've done clinics that have gone on for 7 hours when they were supposed to be like an hour or 2.
Really?
We just keep going and going and going. I did a show one time in, where was it? Not Bangladesh. Trying to remember where it was, but yeah, it was 5 hours on stage.
Wow. With
about 50 musicians that kept coming on, and we just kept playing and playing and playing.
It sounds like Dave Grohl syndrome.
A little bit, yeah. Once you're on that stage, you don't want to be anywhere else, and you don't want it to stop.
Now, I saw the GNR show here in Detroit when they first started their tour last year in the stadiums, and then I just saw them about 2 weeks ago in New York. And I know that last year somebody had asked you if you'd seen the show, and you said no. Have you seen the show since?
No. Yeah, because it just feels kind of weird. It's like I quit the band, they've moved on, I've moved on, and it's not like we quit pretty. Mm-hmm. So to go and see it. And also, what am I going to do? I'm going to stand in the audience and everyone's going to be like, hey, you used to be there. You know, it's too weird, man.
Well, I wasn't sure. I'm just asking because I wasn't sure like what the relationship is between you and the guys, or if you know any of them, or Richard Fortis or whatever. So I was just curious if you'd have a chance to go and see him, but I guess you haven't. So.
Nah, I wish him well and all, but to actually physically go after hundreds of times on the stage with them, and then it just feels very strange. Like I would always describe it as like going to see your ex-girlfriend's wedding. I don't mean any disrespect by that, and I do wish them well, and I'm happy that they're doing so good. But for me to go and see it, it would just stir up a lot of stuff, and yeah. So it's better that I'm just doing my thing, they're doing their thing, and everybody just wishes each other well from afar. And I get lots of good reports from friends and everything, and I'm still in touch with people in the camp, and I'm real happy for them. They're on top of the world right now, so good for them.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, a couple more things about your time in GNR. Did you feel that when you were doing the GNR stuff, like right now you got like tons of stuff going on. When you were doing the GNR stuff, were you kind of like anchored down to that and couldn't really do as much stuff as you wanted to?
Yeah, and that was part of why I was feeling that unrest and that itch to move on, because for me, I need to be super creative. I'm just not the kind of guy that's a utility that you hire and he plays and gets paid and that's it. No, like it means the world to me, what I'm doing and who I'm doing it with.
Hope you guys enjoyed this news recap. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. And as always, guys, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you love Guns N' Roses as much as I do. Also, follow me on Facebook and Twitter. The links to my social media channels are down below. And you can also support my channel on Patreon. The link to my Patreon page is down below in the description box as well. Stay tuned this week, guys. There's going to be tons of great stuff coming up on my channel. Take care.